fully red loadout for CS2 and I'm going for the absolute best one, so some skins will be cheap and others will be expensive, but my goal is to get the best one regardless of the price. Starting off with the USP confirmed, and this is the absolute best one hands down, and you can get the minimum wear version for around $50, but if that's too expensive for you, you can go for the check engine for just $1. And then for the Glock, I went with the Candy Apple, which looks clean and is also very cheap. You can get it in factory new for around 50 cents. And speaking of the Candy Apple skin, I also went with the 5.7 Candy Apple, but this one somehow is very expensive because the factory new version costs $81. So if you want a lower budget one, just get the Urban Hazard, which is like $1. And that's not it for Candy Apple skins, because we also have the Mach 10 Candy Apple, which looks pretty clean. I think this one is my favorite Candy Apple out of them all, and it costs around 20 cents in factory new. Followed by the Nova Candy Apple for just 10 cents in factory new, and obviously and lastly the SG Candy Apple, which costs around $7 in factory new, and if you want you can add red stickers to all of these Candy Apple skins. This video was sponsored by Skins Monkey, which is a trading platform where you can trade your old rusty CS2 skins for some new shiny ones in seconds. You just select the skins that you want to trade and the ones that you want to get. You click trade and it's done. If you use my code OZNI on the website, you get a bonus of up to $5 for free and a 35% bonus when buying balance. They also host giveaways in the freebies page, and link to Skins Monkey is in the description. When it comes down to the deagle, there's a few choices, but the Cold Red is the best one for me. It's literally Cold Red and it costs around $28 in minimum wear. And for the MP9, this one is super easy. It has to be the Hot Rod, which I know is very expensive as the factory new is around $107, and there's not really a great alternative. And if you want something cheaper, you can go for the Setting Sun, but I think it's just so much worse. And speaking of Hot Rod skins, the M41S Hot Rod is basically the same and it looks amazing, but the factory new version is over $850, so it is super expensive. If you want something cheaper, you can just go and get the Night Terror in factory new, which looks pretty alright. And obviously I also had to include the AUG Hot Rod, which goes for about $400 in factory new, so looking at it and seeing that it's an AUG, I don't think it's really worth it at all. Then the P250 Muertos, which is the best choice, both because it is as red as it gets and also because it is pretty cheap. You can get it in minimal wear for about $4, so it is not expensive at all. And for the Galil, I chose the Signal, but honestly I don't love it. It's only $1.3 in factory new, but it also has some blue. However, I think it's literally the best choice possible. And for the FAMAS, I chose the Sticks, which is an easy choice in my opinion. It is a very old skin, but it looks nice and it's only $6.5 in factory new. The problem with this skin is that even being factory new, it has a few scratches, as you can see in the video. And then there's many AKs to choose from, but I went with the Bloodsport because when it comes down to red AKs, it's always the first one that comes to mind, and it costs around $120 in factory new. So if you want something cheaper, you can just go for the Orbit MK01, and that one will cost you like $5. And then the M44 HAL, which is the easiest pick of the video, but as you all know, it is very expensive. So in this case, if you want a cheaper version, I would go with the Red DD-PAT or even the Converter. I think the Red DD-PAT is like $6 or $7 and the Converter is not even $1, so both of them are good options. Next up, the Tech-9 Isaac, which is hands down the best pick here for about $3 in minimum wear, and the factory new is like $9, but it looks basically the same, so there's no point in wasting the extra money. And for the op, this one is very easy as well. The Wildfire is quite literally perfect, the minimum wear version is pretty clean and goes for about $71. And then for the knife and glove combo, I will give you two combos, an expensive and a cheap one. And for the expensive one, we have the M9 Bayonet Ruby with a Moto Glove Slingshot, which in my opinion just looks amazing. It is one of my favorite combos in the game overall, but most people watching this video won't be getting it because it is super expensive. So for a cheaper one, we have the Huntsman Crimson Web Field Tested with the Driver Gloves Resin the Red in Field Tested as well. And the total price of this combo is about $242, but make sure you get them both with low float, otherwise they will have a lot of scratches. That is it. Let me know what you would change in this loadout, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for daily CS2 content.